Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mystery Files, where we delve into the strange and paranormal stories from around the world. Whether you've heard these tales before or they're completely new to you, I promise the experience here will be unlike any other scary story video on YouTube. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the mysteries that await.
In the dead of night, the middle school lay shrouded in darkness, its corridors silent and empty. As the custodian, I navigated through the dimly lit halls, the eerie silence broken only by the sound of my footsteps echoing off the walls. The atmosphere was thick with an unsettling stillness as I went about my nightly routine. But little did I know, the true horror was yet to unfold. As I made my way down the deserted hallway, a sudden thump noise echoed through the empty corridors, causing me to freeze in my tracks. My heart raced as I scanned the darkness, searching for the source of the sound. And then, there it was, a black silhouette of a figure lurking in the corner of a nearby classroom. The darkness obscured any details, leaving only the ominous outline of the mysterious figure. Despite the lack of clarity, a sense of dread washed over me as I felt his, or its whatever be it, presence looming over me. I quickly flicked on the lights, hoping to catch whoever or whatever was hiding in the darkness. But as the light flooded the room, there was nothing there. Just empty desks and chairs, staring back at me in silence. Feeling a sense of unease creeping over me, I decided to investigate further. But before I could take another step, I was struck on the back of the head with a blunt object. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the cold floor, the corridor eerily quiet around me. My head throbbed with pain as I slowly regained consciousness, realizing what had happened. I quickly reached for my phone and dialed 911, explaining the situation as best as I could. The police arrived soon after and conducted a thorough search of the school. It turns out, the figure I saw was actually two ordinary robbers who had broken into the school to steal valuables. They had managed to make off with a few items before they were apprehended by the authorities. I was lucky to have escaped with just a bump on the head. But the experience had left me shaken to the core, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something darker had been lurking in the shadows that night. As the newest addition to the night security team at the old theater, I was filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. The stories of strange happenings and ghostly sightings that plagued the building had driven away previous guards, leaving only one seasoned veteran remaining. But I scoffed at the tales, dismissing them as mere superstition. Little did I know, my first shift would plunge me into a nightmare beyond my wildest imagination. The theater, with its grandeur and history, loomed ominously in the moonlight. I brushed off the chill that crept down my spine as I began my patrol, determined to prove my mettle. But as I traversed the empty corridors, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. Strange noises echoed through the halls, and fleeting glimpses of movement flickered at the edge of my vision. I tried to dismiss the unease creeping over me as I chalked it up to an overactive imagination and continued my rounds. Then, as I reached the end of a long hallway, a door creaked open with a sound that made my heart race. I rushed to investigate, expecting to catch a trespasser in the act. But the room was empty, the air thick with a sense of foreboding. But the unsettling occurrences only intensified. I heard several other noises of doors being shut and opened. I hurried to the CCTV room, hoping to find some explanation for the bizarre events. Yet, upon inspection, I found no evidence of intruders or tampering. The doors seemed to shut and open on their own accord, defying all logical explanation. A wave of fear washed over me as the rumors I had once dismissed flooded my mind. The stories of hauntings and ghostly apparitions that had circulated among the staff now seemed all too real. As I resumed my patrol, being extra cautious after the unsettling events, I happened to catch a glimpse of a shadow crossing the corridor through the glass on the other side of the door. My heart skipped a beat as I thought I had spotted the trespasser. Rushing to check, I flung open the door, but to my dismay, there was no one there. The corridor lay empty, shrouded in darkness, leaving me to wonder if my mind was playing tricks on me. Suddenly, at the far end of the corridor, I saw a ghostly figure of a woman dressed in flowing white robes. Frozen in fear, I watched as she moved towards me with an unnatural slowness as the corridor lights flickered, adding darkness to the situation. Panic seized me, and I fled, desperately trying to reach my fellow security guard on the walkie-talkie. But there was no response. Only silence greeted my frantic calls for help. Desperate, I sought refuge in one of the cabinets, hoping to hide from the terrifying thing haunting the theater. As the minutes stretched into an eternity, I mustered the courage to try contacting my colleague again. To my horror, I heard a faint voice emanating from the other walkie-talkie. With trembling hands, I searched the cabinet and found him, lifeless, his head twisted at an unnatural angle. Heart pounding, I looked up to see the ghostly figure once more. Without hesitation, I bolted from the security room, my only thought to escape the horror that surrounded me. Summoning every ounce of courage, I dialed 911, desperate for help. In the days that followed, a detailed investigation uncovered a chilling truth. The murder had been orchestrated by the theater technician, seeking revenge for the death of his daughter. It was revealed that the security guard had been involved in a tragic accident that claimed the life of the technician's daughter. Despite being released without punishment due to the accident being deemed just that, an accident, the technician harbored a deep-seated grudge. Fueled by grief and rage, he vowed to take matters into his own hands, orchestrating a sinister plan to enact his revenge. His wife, a skilled actress, played the role of the ghost to perfection, adding a terrifying layer to their elaborate scheme. The act gave away as the hair strands on the victim's body matched that of the technician's wife's hair, coupled with strange outings of the couple on that day as reported by the neighbors. As I reflected on that harrowing night, I couldn't shake the feeling that something far more sinister had been at play in the theater's haunted halls. And though the truth had been revealed, the memory of that ghostly encounter would haunt me for the rest of my days. I was about 15 minutes from finishing the night shift at work when there was a massive crash on one of the windows in the office. So I got up and go to check it out. Someone has thrown quite a sizable rock through one of the windows on the front of the building. This is made especially weird because I am working in the industrial district at 11:30 at night with none of the businesses open. I go back to my desk, put a quick call through to security to let them know, and decide to head home. As I am leaving the building, I am freaking myself out about it more and more and end up running to my car, getting in and taking off. I am almost home and I have started to calm down a bit when I realized that I did not unlock my car when I got in. It had been unlocked the whole time. I did a quick check with my hand in the back seat for any possible guy that might be hanging around there, but there is nothing there. Fast forward 30 minutes, I have called a friend of mine who says he is out drinking, so I decided I am going to join him. I jump on my bicycle and start riding over, doodling along the road on my bike. It's a nice night and I am not in big rush, just enjoying the moonlight when I hear someone riding behind me. I straighten up and stick to one side of the road. He passes me really slowly and, when he is right beside me, he shoots me a smile I can describe as purely insane. I kind of flinch and am taken aback as he rides on. That's when I realize he is riding my mom's bicycle. Needless to say, I sprint back home. When I get there, sure enough her bike was missing and one of my car's door is open, the back left one. I was driving and had no need to open that door. I informed the police about the incident, detailing everything that had happened. However, nothing unusual occurred for the rest of the night. Despite their assurances, I never received any updates on the investigation. To this day, the memory of that night still haunts me, leaving me with an unsettling feeling whenever I think about it.